that weight in that hand. This is where we're going to now introduce our booty bends. Hi guys, so for today's class we need a set of dumbbells or arm weights, whatever you might have at home. Something that I've found useful for clients who don't have weights is some water bottles, so filled up water bottles, but do make sure that they're evenly weighted. There's also those little sand weights, so anything really that's evenly weighted that you can grasp onto easily but not lose grip of when we've got our hands above our head. That's very important. So for the purpose of today's class, I'm using 2 kilo weights just because it gets quite challenging, and the class we're doing today is all about the core and the abdominals with a little side of legs added in at the very end just to mix it up. So I'll put my weights down. I'm going to turn and face side on, and we're going to do a little bit of a it's called a proposal position. So let's take one knee out in front and stack the knee on top of the ankle, and the other hip sits over the other knee. So hence proposal. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. We're going to stretch not only the quad and the hip of the grounded leg, but we're just going to get stuck into a little bit of movement through the forward leg as well. So I'm going to find that range that works comfortable to me, and I want you to tuck your tailbone under so you're not collapsing into the spine like this. So keep the hips quite aligned here, and I'm just going to use my hand there, or my forearm rather, to press onto the leg, because when I find that hip flex, which is really starting to lengthen now, I'm going to sweep this arm up and over, and I'm going to get some lateral flexion into the sides as well, which is a cheeky addition to this hip flexor stretch, and quad as well. So let's hold here, and we'll work with that nice Pilates breathing. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one more time. Really lengthen through your fingertips. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Okay, so take those hands now by either side and keep that leg extended out. You're going to take those toes right back towards your shin, and you're going to lean your body weight forward as much as you can. And this is where we now stretch into not only the hamstring on the grounded leg, but the calf and the Achilles tendon. And it feels really nice. So just sink as much body weight forward, and if you want to work harder, you press those toes right back. So we'll just again work into that breath, and because this is all about stretching before we get stuck into our workout today. Inhale and exhale. Okay, sweep that leg back, take the other leg in front, exactly the same goes. Square up the hips, keep them under the shoulders, lean your weight forward without losing that connection of those strong hips. And this is where I'm going to take my left arm down onto the thigh, tuck that tailbone under, and just find that position where you go, okay, yeah, that hip's starting to give a little bit of a twinge, a little bit of it starting to lengthen, and that's what we want. And then we're going to sweep this arm up and over. And if you can even look to those fingers, added bonus, it will open up those sides just that little bit more. Load into that grounded foot, so just to keep your balance. And we're just going to take that big inhale and that big exhale. Try to keep the neck really long, shoulders soft. Big inhale again. And exhale, return the arms, place them down onto the ground in front of you. Take that leg right out, really press that back of that kneecap down into the floor. Heels loaded, toes are back, and we just take as much body weight as we can over that extended leg, but without forcing anything. Take that big inhale again, and that big exhale. And we're going to do that one more time. And righty, oh, beautiful. So from here, the weights, actually, something I forgot to mention, they don't come into this class until a little bit later on. So by all means, we would never do a core and abdominal class with the weights, because man, we would be cooked after it. So guys, we're going to start on the elbows. So stack down on the forearms, bend the elbows, connect those to the ground, elbows and fingers aligned, and then take the legs out and extend them away from the line of the hip bone. So we're in essentially an elbow plank, and this is our little warm-up. So we won't stay in the warm-up for very long, but we do want to find that core engagement, keeping the hips and shoulders broad, not letting the shoulders round, but not letting them collapse either, and doing the same with the hips, not letting them pike, but not letting them collapse. So think long lines from the joints, lengthening out in front, lengthening behind, and your face should be just somewhere between your palms. All right, so from here, I'm gonna walk my feet in together, and we're gonna come into a little hip dip. So we're gonna drop the hip down to one side of the mat, and then we're gonna inhale, lift it, and then we're gonna drop it down to the other side, and then lift and drop. Now see how I'm not letting my shoulders drop as I do. So we're just starting to fire into those sides, and it's kind of like you're drawing a rainbow with your bottom up onto the ceiling. Okay, feet are connected, hips are dropping, and we're gonna start to look to that hip. For 5, that dropping hip. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Find that elbow plank again. Walk those feet back. Tuck the right knee in, extend the leg back. Tuck the left knee in. Okay, walk it out. Keep the body really strong. Try to keep the hips really strong. Sink that navel and that spine together. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees to the mat and come into, once again, a child's pose. Because whenever we sort of lose our breath or need to get that breath rate back, you always want that head lower than the heart. So if you can take the knees out really wide here, take the palms over to one side, even stretch through the sides here. So you're dropping into one hip and really lengthening through one side. And then take it over to the other side. And do the same, drop into one hip, lengthen through the sides. And then we come up into a little cat and cow, which really immobilizes the spine and just gives us that breather between our exercises. So palms will stack under shoulders here. We're in that 4-point kneel, so hips over knees. As we exhale, we drop the chin and the chest, and we really separate the vertebrae. It's called C-curving out your back. Chin on chest, tailbone tucked, abs drawn. As we inhale, we sink the shoulders down, we lift the chin high, and we draw the shoulders to the hips. Exhale, press through strong arms, navel up to spine, arms strong and long. Inhale, work through the reverse. This is where the tummy gets really lengthened and where I talk really funny because it's impossible to talk with your chin lifted. So exhale, scoop. Inhale, lengthen tail and chin. We're going to do one more each side. So it's lovely to separate the vertebrae. That synovial fluid gets to pass through each little disc, get out any nooks and crannies, any little niggles, and then we hold there. So from here, guys, we're going to now come into our full range plank. So what I mean by that is it's a straight arm plank. We're going to stay facing this direction. So coming up, once again, with the fingers spread really wide, and once again underneath your shoulders, and then taking those legs back into that full range plank, and then broadening those shoulders so once again the shoulder blades are not collapsing or winging. And we're just going to hold here. We started on the elbows, that was our warm-up, that's done. We're now coming straight into core and abs. So holding and scooping. Feel like someone's picking up your abdominals and your pelvic floor and lifting them up to the ceiling. You want to keep those joints really stacked and aligned here. And we want to hold as still as we can, working all of those muscle groups as we just work through our inhale and our exhale. We're going to change it up now, guys. I'm going to draw my left knee in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to tap the elbow, take it back, roll on the toe, roll back. Tap, extend, roll forward, roll back. Inhale, exhale, roll back. This is us. So all we're doing is rolling on the ball of the foot, tapping the knee to the elbow or wherever you can manage, and keeping that spine really stacked and really strong, and trying to keep the shoulders and the hips square and still. All right, that's 3 to go. It's really starting to burn now. 2 to go. Whew. Last one, draw it forward, take it back, tap and extend and drop down. onto those knees. We're just going to roll the shoulders out because we don't want to come straight into the other side there. And then roll them back in the opposite direction. And then take one arm, I'll just face you guys, take one arm across the body. This is a pretty common stretch when your shoulders start to give you a little bit of bother. You use that other arm for support. Arm high, palm reaches down to the other shoulder, and then you can use that hand to peel that elbow right back. Chin is on chest here. And then let's do the same on the other side. So tuck it into the bent elbow, and that just gives you that leverage to get it as far as you can. So you really start to stretch through the back of the deltoid there. Big inhale here, big exhale. Let's take that elbow up nice and high, and then take the palm onto the other shoulder as you just assist that elbow backwards, just opening up through a little bit of the tricep there as well. Okay, we're going to come down onto that same side. So we're going to come into a mermaid, a side lying mermaid. I might just move those weights out of the way, I think. All right, so we're going to keep this forearm position here, and we're going to take the legs out nice and long and extend them away from our body and keep all of the joints stacked and elongated and long and aligned. From here, I definitely need my hand here in front for support, but as we move through the exercise, you might want to change positions. So, important feature. Shoulder back, shoulder long, shoulder strong. As I connect through my low abs, I'm going to pivot on my bottom hip, and I'm going to take those legs to the ceiling. And then I'm going to pivot back on the hip and come back so I'm in that straight lying position. So use that hand for support, because the first couple of times you do this, you can kind of lose your balance a little bit. And the last thing we want, something I noticed when I used to do this exercise too quickly, is if you move too quickly through the exercise, you end up shuffling right off your mat and right far forward. Now, some alternatives, if you can't lift those legs high, bring them into a bent knee. Much easier, okay? Now you can bring your hands to your hips if you're feeling quite adequate with your placement. You can start to reach your hands past your legs and back behind your head. So that's definitely an advanced move. Now we want to use those low abs to lift those legs nice and light. And we're going to do 2 more here. I'm going to try and not let my legs tap the ground because I don't want that rest. Last one, hold with me now high. Now, that shoulder's down and it's quite soft. Legs are lifted. Reach those fingers for the toes, and if you can, you're going to scissor the legs. You can take the legs as low as you want, the lower the harder. Okay, and if this is too much, bring the knees into a bent knee position or just keep the legs extended. But let's go here for 5. Shoulders down, necks long. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return the legs and come up onto those knees. We're going to do a little kneeling mermaid before we transfer over to the other side and do that exercise all again. So reach the arm up and over. Look to those fingers if you can. Sink the palm heavy into the mat next to you. Squeeze the opposite side, ribs and hips together. And then just do 1 more each side. Big exhale, reach. And big inhale. Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to flip, and we're going to do that plank with the knee tuck and the roll, and then side lying teaser all over again. So palms under shoulders, feet back towards the edge of your mat. We're going to get stuck straight in because you know exactly what you're doing now. So tap, lengthen, roll, draw back. Tap, extend, roll forward, draw back. Inhale, exhale, move the body, lengthen it. Okay, you guys work at your own pace. Remember, shoulders are broad. Remember, working leg, super strong. Core's engaged. Inhale, exhale, hips don't displace. 2. Chin never tucks down to the chest. Last one, bring the foot back, drop the knees down. Let's shuffle around. We go straight into that side lying teaser. or side-lying leg lift. So many different names in Pilates. Legs extended out long, hand in front for support. Watch the placement of that grounded elbow. And remember, you might be a little bit different on one side. We normally always are. And I think this is my dodgy side, so we're about to find out. So use that pelvic floor connection, zip and button, and lift. Now I went straight into my arm movement there. I probably could have found my balance and kept my arm on the ground in front. You work to where you feel comfortable. You might want to go with the arm extended and then bring it back behind the hairline. You might need to keep it on the ground. Again, everyone has varying levels of competency. Lift the legs light. You want to squeeze the inner thighs together and always come back to that front facing position. Shoulder down, shoulder neck long. Legs high, body square. Let's do this for 2. We're going to finish off with those scissors. I all know that you all love them. I do. Last one. Maintain square hips, pivot on the hip, extend the legs, reach that arm past, get that shoulder down, hold this position and scissor. So keep the pelvis very square, keep the navel drawing through, and let's scissor here for 5. Let's scissor here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Bring those knees in front. Okay, grab a drink if you need to there. That was the portion without the dumbbells. We now need to grab whatever it is that you're using for your weights. I'm going to continue facing this way. And we're going to start with our knees bent, feet out in front, hip width apart, and then we're going to grab our dumbbells. Now, you don't have to do this with 2. You could hold 1 by either side of the hexagon, which I might do just for this first portion. Now, we need to find that Pilates scoop. So, you want to scoop out the abdominals, just like a scooper in a fresh tub of ice cream. Think that. That's what we're doing with our abdominals. Ribs are over hips, navel sinking into the spine, hips are pressing backwards. But my shoulders are not crunching forward. I'm still open. Okay, we press the weight into the chest. We hold this scoop. This is called a partial rollback. We extend, we sit tall and find that long stacked spine. Inhale now. Exhale, scoop. Inhale, sit on the sitting bones, really high, really even, long crown. Work to the tempo that suits you. You can lift your elbows if that works for you. You'll work those lats a little bit more. Scoop, roll, extend, tuck, sit tall, lengthen. Exhale, inhale, exhale, scoop back, inhale. We've got 3 to go, and then we're going to hover the feet away. 2. And last one, come back to your sitting bones so they're stacked. We're just going to find that little scoop. I'm going to pick up my other weight now actually. We're going to take the knee, float one knee at a time into tabletop and find that balance. Now, alternatively, if you can't find this boat hover position, keep one foot on the ground and change it up halfway through. Take the arms out in front. Hold that hover. Right, we're just going to draw the shoulders down, keep the arms strong. We're going to hold the hover here. Knees are over hips. Pilates scoop through the abdomen is happening. Neck is long. We're holding and balancing for 5 because those weights add so much more challenge here. For 4, for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to now, actually I'm going to lose one weight because I want to show you. We're going to stay in this boat hover. We're going to extend the legs back, body back. And then tuck the weight over the legs and scooch up. Scooch up evenly onto the sitting bones. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Now it's all about that scoop. So we maintain this scoop through pretty much the whole series that I'm about to do with this dumbbell. Lengthen, inhale, exhale, sit tall. And this is you. Now alternatively, you could work with both weights if you wanted. Or, of course, you don't have to work with the weight at all. So let's go here for 5. Let's go here for 4. Let's go here for 3. This is 2. And this is 1. Hold here. Take the weight out as far as you can. Hold in that scoop for 5, for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Transfer the weight forward. Those abs just got an absolute coning, didn't they? So did the quads. So lay yourself on down. Have those weights somewhere ready to grab. And then we're going to just take those. We want to pinch the elbows in tight. Bring the legs into tabletop. Send the arms high so they're stacked directly on top of the shoulders. Knees directly on top of hips. We're going to work through an ab curl with really strong arms here. So I'm going to find that pelvic floor connection. I'm going to zip and button. I'm going to take an inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to take the neck, the shoulders away, and I'm going to reach the arms forward. And then as I inhale, I lengthen and I imprint vertebrae by vertebrae back to the mat. Exhale, squeeze ribs down to the hip bones, lengthen weighted arms forward. Inhale, lift high. So again, find your own tempo that works for you. Remember, hold on to those weights nice and tight. You certainly don't want to lose them. Something I don't want you doing is letting the arms go back like this. Make sure the arms stay connected over the shoulders. Exhale, peel, squeeze, lengthen. Inhale, lift. Let the head relax. Find that pelvic floor engagement, squeeze. Right, so we've got 5 like this. Arms maintain the same height through the movement. Cinching out that waist, drawing ribs to hips. This is 2. We're going to hold up high now. Arms stay out in front. Right, I want you to toe tap one leg away, toe tap the other leg away. We're doing that 4 times, so 2 each leg. And now inhale, float tall. Exhale, squeeze, peel. Again, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Float both knees, take arms back over. I think you guys have got this. It's the same. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees over the hips. Take it. Let's rise again. We've got a couple more just like this. Let's find a little bit of tempo though. Working those low abs just as much as the top abs are on fire now. Let's see if we can lift the shoulders a little higher. And last couple coming up now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees float, arms extend. This is the last one. Ribs to hip, navel in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees back, arms high. Bring the knees in. We're going to have a cheeky stretch there, guys. So bring them in right towards the torso. Pick your tailbone up. We're going to just make sure we've got a bit of room here. We're going to drop the knees to one side. So connect the knees together. Take the palm to the ceiling. Look past the fingers. Use your hand on that knee just to assist drawing it down. Take your eye gaze. Look back to the opposing arm. And then inhale. Straighten the legs. Bring them over the hips. Exhale, take them out. You want to align them with the hip bones, palm to the ceiling. Left hand is on top of the knees now, and we're looking back to the opposite arm as we hold there. We hold there for 3. We hold there for 2 and 1, and we come back up. So we're going to come into that hovering position all over again, and we'll just need one of the weights for this one. So find that Pilates abdomen scoop again. Take yourself back. First things first, for this part of the, the front of the exercise, we're going to keep the feet connected. So we're probably all familiar with the Russian twist. I'm just going to get moving to get us into the movement. So elbows out wide. Follow that leading elbow with your eye gaze. Now create the action at your mid-trunk. So Russian twist, but this is a Russian twist with a twist. So we're going to float the legs and hover them into that boat position in say 5, in say 4, shoulders are long, neck is long, 3, 2, 1, return central back to neutral, central, what's that? Bring the knees up into your boat position. Elevate those elbows and then sink the shoulders down. Let's do that all again and see if we can maintain that same deep rotation through the obliques. Now, if you need to drop one foot down like so, do it. Rib to opposite hip, sink the elbow down. Find some pace now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here's the twist. We're going to raise the arm above our head if we can. We might need to bring the feet back. So let's see how strong we are today. Back in boat, back in Pilates scoop. Rotate one, rotate opposite. Come here, elevate the arms high, reach it out in front, float the arm back in. Rotate, rotate, press the arm in front, extend up, reach it out in front, bend the elbows. Rotate, rotate, bring the arms in front, high, reach. Oh, the burns there. This is 4. Reach it out, bring it back. This is 5. And extend and lengthen and whoa, geez, the hips got a little bit of a workout there. So just in saying that, we might just come back into that same proposal position that we started the class in and just give them a quick stretch. We won't worry about the lateral flexion. We'll just stretch into each hip flexor here. Shoulders over hips, spine stacked, tailbone under. Give the quad a little bit of a stretch too, especially if they were already tight before the class. They would have really loaded up then. Other leg forward and drop into that weight, or drop the weight into that leg, I should say, and just hold that. And you'll really feel that open up there because that's super tight right now. Holding there for 3, holding there for 2, and 1. And then we're just going to come and face the front. We're going to grab these weights again, and we're now going to face the front of our mat and take the hands around your dumbbells. Now, if you were using water bottles, it's going to be really difficult to do this exercise because you're going to have to transfer and pick up. So you might want to omit that from this exercise and work without it altogether. Take the legs back, they're super strong. Rightio, we're in that plank, we're going to get stuck straight in. I'm going to take my left arm, my arm closest to you guys, and I'm going to raise it up nice and high and then take it back down and come straight into that plank. Then I'm going to transfer a little bit of my weight onto my left side and I'm going to raise my right arm up high and then I'm going to reach it out and transfer my weight back. So again, work to your own strengths and work super slow because we do have a weight just challenging that body weight that we're already familiar and know how to work with. And even just adding this weighted dumbbell really does start to challenge the body. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, lengthen. Pivot a little bit on the toes. All right, we're going to do 2 more each side. So the hips almost square up to the way that your arm is lifting. Last one on the left. Last one on the right. Come down onto your side. Lose one weight. Now we've done this exercise before, but we haven't done it with the weight and it's so much more challenging. So again, we're going to stack onto our forearm and stack onto our bent knee, so the bottom knee. We're going to take the weighted arm right out. We're going to pick up through that bottom hip, and when we squeeze our elbow and knee together, that added weight really adds some extra burn into the sides here. So lengthen, extend, and you also feel those shoulders because of that little tiny 2 kilo dumbbell. But we're going to finish off, because this is a dumbbell class, with some pretty hectic pulses. In 5, in 4, in 3, look to the arm, look to the knee. 2, I want you to hold your arm and leg out now, and pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lose the weight. Oh, I'll tell you what, my shoulders are on fire. I'm going to take one weight back here, ready to transfer into the next exercise. But we're going to lay down on our spine here, tummy to the ceiling, legs out nice and long. Okay, we're going to lift our left leg nice and high. We're going to take our arms back behind us. Sink both hips down really square onto the mat, okay? And load your extended leg, load that heel into the ground. Now we're going to scoop. Essentially it's a roll up. Take the arms past the legs. Keep that leg elevated. Squeeze and lengthen. Extend and draw back. Squeeze and lengthen and extend. So really scoop into those abs. Now if that's too much for the leg, this is your option here, tabletop. Squeeze and lengthen, squeeze those ribs down to the hips, lengthen the torso now, inhale, exhale. We've got 3. I'm working a little quicker now. We've got 2. We're gonna hold up now. Squeeze, hold there. Okay, pulse the hands, 10, 9. Look through the gap of the legs. Look to that grounded leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rightio, are you ready? Take the leg away, take the arms back. Now bring them together and extend and lengthen. Now we're not transferring any part of our weight. We're staying very grounded through both hips, both shoulders, and we're working through a roll up, taking arms to meet lifting leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and float that knee down, and let's just roll those shoulders out. Take that leg out in front. We're going to do the other side, then we transfer, we do the weights, and then we stand tall and we're nearly done. So let's take that left leg out, ground the heel down, extend the right leg high, take the arms back behind you, take your inhale to prepare. Find that nice pelvic floor extension. Reach and squeeze, lengthen. Inhale, float back, let the head relax. Rib to hip, lengthen the torso. Again, remember what I said, you could float the knee into tabletop if that's too much to hold the leg there. Okay, palms press down, arms reach forward, arms extend back. 5, 4, this is 3, this is 2, last one. Hold up there now and pulse your hands. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the leg away, take the arms away, and lift and extend. Now we're meeting both arms and leg together as we move through our roll up. Squeeze and lift, lengthen and inhale. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, this is 2, and last one. Bring that knee down, relax the head back, come onto the side. We're now coming into that weighted portion of our abdominals, so working the sides. On that stacked left elbow, bent knee, that's the bottom knee. Pick up through the sides. We're going to press that arm over nice and far. Now, leg is long, and remember what this exercise is all about? The sides. So squeeze and extend. And that weight is just adding so much more of a burn factor than when you do it without. Lengthen, follow. Inhale, tuck. Okay, keep that bottom hip lifted off the ground. We're going to find some tempo now because we know we're nearly at the end of the class, and for some reason when we know we're nearly at the end, we find some power. 5, 4, sides are long and strong. 3, punch the arm out for 2, and 1, hold it there, both legs and arms. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And wow, collapse. That's your abdominals with your weights. We're now coming up into our standing routine. Not very long there, but just to give the legs a little bit of a go and a finish, and then the class is done. So now we grab our dumbbells and we're going to come up into our standing routine, which is where we finish the class, guys. So, lunging. Take the right foot out in front. You've got your dumbbells there in your hands and your arms are heavy and long under your shoulders. Left leg is back. Okay, all we're going to do is start moving into our lunges. So work with a stance that is comfortable for you. Shoulders over hips, spine stacked and long. And now we're going to start to move the arms. So as the body draws to the ground, keep the weights there. As the body extends, take the arms up high. So moving through that overhead shoulder press. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Strong movements, nice and slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one coming up. Always changing your breath as you do. Now sink down into that dropped lunge. Turn the palms to the ceiling. Tuck the elbows in here. We're going to pulse it out for 10, 9, 8. So squeezing the bicep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that position there. Turn your palms to face each other and now punch it out for 10, for 9, 8. Try not to let the body roll around here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall. Oh, massive quad burn. Take the legs out as far as you can. Take the palms in front. Turn the palms so they're now facing your thigh. We're going to stretch out the back of the hamstring. Tilt at the hips. Okay, now come up nice and tall. Exhale, lean over. Inhale, stack through that stacked spine. Exhale, tilt. Keep the spine stacked here, so don't allow the spine to curve. We're going to change the arms up now. So, as I extend, raise my arms out. As I draw down, tap the weights next to each other. So a lateral raise, lengthen through the knuckles. Hinge at the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Work nice and fluid. Tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your glutes on. And it's all about getting length in the hamstring, stacking through the spine, creating that nice movement through the shoulder joint. We've got 3. And then we're going to finish off with little flies, and then we do the other side with the lunges. 2. And last one. Hold down there. Bend the elbows up to the ceiling. Hold this position here. Now flies. Draw the elbows to the ceiling. Keep the spine stacked. Keep the core locked on. Elbows to ceiling. Arms lengthen back. You've got 10. You've got 9. Feel like you're drawing the mid-back muscles towards the spine, but not squeezing on the spine, just drawing. 4, 3, this is 2, and this is 1. Drop the weights. One last lateral raise and turn back around as we swap the other foot in front. So for me, that's my left foot. Right leg's back, heavy and strong. And you just want the feet at a hip width apart. And we're just going to start with those lunges. So the arms stay stacked under the shoulders. We're just going to find our balance, see if you need to change your foot placement. Feet are square though. We're going to start to add those arms in. So arms heavy and long, arms high when you stand tall. Arms heavy and long when you lunge, press and punch. Inhale, exhale, inhale, lift up through that core. Load into that left heel. Keep that knee over the ankle and not the toes. You want to feel it in the hamstring of the front leg and the glute. Eyes are tracking in front because we need our balance on. 3, 2, last one. Hold in that dropped lunge. Take your weights out in front. Squeeze your elbows down. Hold here. We pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, shoulders are back, spine stacked and long. 3, 2, 1. Hold there, turn the palms back, punch it out. 10. Now try to keep the body really stable here. Shoulders aren't fluffing forward, hips are staying square. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the arms. Let's lose the weights there. Shake the legs out, pat them down, do what you need to. We might do that quad stretch that we've done before. Heel into the bottom, elbows pinch back, knee draws to the floor, and we open up the chest as well. And then we shake that leg out in front. We lean forward into that extended leg. Hamstrings get a nice lengthen, and then we stand into the opposite leg. Do the same on the other side. Pinch the elbows back. Big inhales and exhales. And then take that leg forward, hand onto that leg, stretch it out. And then we're just going to, I might stand front on here, and I'm going to take my hands above my head. I'm going to take a big inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to hinge at the hips, straighten the legs, and extend those fingers out in front. Now forward fold and collapse. Now inhale, scoop through the navel, restack through the vertebrae, little micro bend back through the knees, look to the fingers. Hinge at the hip, lengthen the fingers forward. Forward fold, keep heavy into those legs. Inhale now, scoop through the navel, restack through the vertebrae. As you come back to a standing, just micro bend through the knees, inhale. And then stand tall, exhale, round it out, hold there in your stacked spine. Tilt it at your hips, we hold here. You can put as much weight into those heels so you get an extra stretch through the hamstrings. And forward fold. And from here, we're just going to walk the legs out. So the backs of the hips start to get some love as well. For 3, for 2, for 1. All right, scoop through the abdomen. Let's restack that vertebrae one at a time. As we come up nice and tall, we roll the shoulders back. And that is our class done with dumbbells, which was featuring predominantly with the core and abs. But as I said, a little side of legs at the end there. I hope you enjoyed that class, and I hope to see you soon on our page. Thanks for watching. Bye.